Hi, welcome to Biker TV, Tech Tips with Wally. This week I thought we would talk about putting our bikes into storage. What we want to do is there's some things that we should take care of before we put them away that will ensure that when spring comes around again and we bring them out and we start to get the itch to go for a ride, that they'll be in the best possible condition that they can be in. There's some things we can also have a look at that will tell us if maybe we should get it into a dealership and get a little bit of work done on it in the wintertime when things are a bit slow. They have some more time to do it. First off, let's think about our fuel tank. A full fuel tank will have less of a chance of having any corrosion appear in it than a fuel tank that's maybe empty or half full. What you want to do, because fuel nowadays doesn't last that long before it starts to go bad on us, and it can actually corrode our tank if it has some moisture in it. This particular stabilizer I have right here is a Harley-Davidson product, and it has a corrosion inhibitor in it. And what you want to do is you want to mix this up with your fuel, or a product that's like it. This particular one will treat about 4 gallons of fuel, so probably a little more than you'll have on your bike. Okay, we've changed our fluids. We've got fresh fluids in the motorcycle. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull our spark plugs out. And have a look at the spark plugs while you've got them out. If it looks like they're due for some new ones, this would be a good time to put them in, or have some on hand to put in when you take the bike back out of storage in the springtime again. But what we're going to do once we have the spark plugs out, we're going to take an oil can with just clean engine oil in there, and we're going to give it 3 or 4 squirts of engine oil down the spark plug holes. Now, while your spark plugs are still out, so we don't have a lot of compression taking place, we're going to turn the engine over, 3 or 4 revolutions so that the pistons and the rings can distribute that oil on your cylinder walls. What that's going to do, that's going to ensure that we don't have any corrosion taking place on the cylinder. Sometimes if the rings sit in one spot for a while, you can have some corrosion happening there, but if we put a little oil in there, we're not going to have to be too concerned about that. Once we've got our spark plugs back in, we'll move on the motorcycle. We'll have a look at our air cleaner, put it away with a nice clean or new air cleaner in there, so we don't have any problems with contaminants gumming up our air cleaner and sitting in there all winter. From the air cleaner, we're going to move back to the rear belt, and you want to really have a good close look at the belt at this time. Get your back wheel up in the air so you can turn the rear wheel over. Have a look at both the belt and your pulleys. Make sure that your pulleys are have not been damaged by rocks or sand or dirt, that sort of thing. Watch that the coating is not coming off the pulleys. And have a real close look at your belt. Watch if you have any rocks in the belt. If you've got a small rock in the center of your belt, take the rock out. It's not always a reason to replace your belt if you've got a small little rock near the center of the belt, but pay particular attention to the outside edges of it. If you've got a tear or a rock on the outside edge of the belt, it might be a good time right now to take it into your local dealer through the winter time, get a new belt put on, have them have a good look at your pulleys to see if you need new pulleys. Get them to change it over the winter. That way when your bike comes out in the spring, it's all ready to go. There's nothing worse than, oh man, here's the nice warm day, but I got to get my bike in and get a new pulley, a new belt put on it. I got to get some work done on it. Get it done through the winter when not quite as busy as normal. It works better for both them and for you. While we've still got the battery in the bike, we want to make sure that all of our electrical components on the bike are working. So go through the whole system. Make sure that your brake lights are working, your tail lights are working, your high-low beams, basically all of your electrical components are in good working order. Give your horn a little blow, make sure it's working. That way you don't have to worry about it. Hopefully in the spring when you bring it out, everything is ready to go for you. And once you've got it all cleaned up and you're ready to tuck it away for the winter, if you plan on putting a cover over the motorcycle, there's a few things to be aware of there. You want to make sure that the cover that you're putting on the bike will actually breathe a little bit, so we don't have moisture building up, on the motorcycle, which could lead to corrosion. Also, you want to make sure that it's going to have a nice soft surface on it, so you're not going to damage any of the paint or the finish of the bike. you know, this maybe isn't the time to go down to your local hardware store and buy a tarp to throw over your bike. It's an expensive motorcycle. Put a good cover over it.